right, welcome back to Slick Speaks, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you had a great weekend and a good a good Monday, I would say, because it is Tuesday, and we should be what is it? Still thinking positive about this whole coronavirus. Like I do feel like we are reaching like either its climax or the decline because at this moment right now from what I heard happened the beginning of the weekend, which is in Jacksonville, that they did open the beaches for people to go out to, I can't say mingle with each other because they still had like appropriate time restrictions, and they did have what's the word? They did have, the 6 feet apart, but everybody and their grandmother went out to the beach that Friday, and for some odd reason they felt as though they were still they're still like abide by majority of people still feel like they're abide by the law, even though they did have laws to not have large crowds meet up. A lot of people did meet up at the beach, and I don't know if anybody got sick during this beach converse, but people want to get back to having that actual normal life that they had before this coronavirus came back. And I was just wondering, I mean, you can have the thought, I can't hear or I can't see what you are thinking right now, but if a beach opened up down here, I know it was only in Jacksonville that it happened because I didn't hear anything about beaches opening up down here. But for some odd reason, I kept hearing that beaches were opening up from word to mouth, not even like I can't say a credible source. They were not all credible sources, but for some odd reason, people were saying beaches were opening up down here, which wasn't making any sense if they're only doing it in Jacksonville under not Mrs. but Mr. Ron DeSantis law. For some odd reason, why opening the beaches would be a smart decision, or why letting Jacksonville open the beaches would be a smart decision, is beyond me. I'm not the leader. I can't say that he did anything good or bad on this situation. So I felt like he played the hand that he was dealt, and hopefully it does come out on the bright side. But in actuality, it can end up to be something that he really didn't want on his conscience. But I am not ruling factor of Florida. Mr. DeSantis is, and Mr. DeSantis feels as though that we should be heading back to work, and being that a lot of people did lose their jobs a month ago, and was it not even some people did lose their jobs, and then some people did have to cut hours of their job because of this whole coronavirus. Mr. DeSantis and ruling staff want to put Florida back to work, and put Florida back to work in this heightened pandemic that we have going on, because he does notice a lot of unemployment is happening throughout this whole state, and want to put his law-abiding citizens back to work so they can earn something while putting their lives at risk. But I'm not the deciding factor. A lot of people do feel like they do need to go back to work, because I do hear a lot. I do hear a lot, not through word of mouth, of people walking by me in the street, because there's not a lot of people in the streets nowadays. Basically, hearing from sound bites, people are saying that they don't want handouts, and from that big protest that we all seen this weekend, or not this weekend, but we all seen that big protest that happened because of that big protest that wasn't protected at all. But people did gathered up to make a statement for Mr. Ron DeSantis and for all Florida to see. We all seen that big protest, and for those people that wish that they don't want handouts, I feel as though, like, not saying that not saying that this is a handout. I'm not speaking to like what's going on, but I'm not saying that this is a handout, but we're trying to contain something. So, being that we should be trying to contain something, and you're trying to bring us backwards from what we already accomplished, we're literally self-destructing. So, literally imploding, and we're trying to progress. So, not saying that you are setting us back, but that whole like just way of thinking, that invincibility, that incredible Hulk feel that everybody do feel in this pandemic, because they feel as though they are what is it, unfairly being some feel like they're being martial law to um do what do what someone says and listen to that, to what someone says. I just feel as though like it is a virus, guys. It is a virus that's been killing. So really think about your well-being and the well-being of others around you, because you wouldn't want to see anybody that's around you to perish. And there have been family members that are have been perishing from this disease. So you shouldn't take this lightly. And being that the beaches would open up, it's kind of scary, but depending on like how safe you are from other people, I feel like it can be very tranquil, because the beach is being closed down here. I mean, it is a sunshine state, and the fact that you can only walk the pier and not touch the sand anymore is really like a new dynamic that a lot of people are not used to. A lot of people are used to waking up on the beach. I don't know what you were doing, but that's just on you. But a lot of people are used to running on the beach, jogging on the beach, waking up at the beach, stuff like that. And for like the beaches close, and just to close indefinitely without any sign of a return, really destroys the spirit as a Floridian. Not saying that I like water sports, not saying that I like anything about, not saying that I like water or salt water at that, but the fact of like the whole beach vibe, it deflates you as a Floridian. So they should have opened the beaches, kept open, but like still have a restriction on distance towards the beaches. So that means hiring more people. So this whole job thing that that's going on, we can't hire more people to surveillance the whole factor of distance to distance on what is it, beach regulations. If we could have thought of something like that, but that's just an idea that I had, just brewing in my head, because in all honesty, like beach res- everybody going out to the beach was not a good idea. I feel like people should have sectioned it off and go at a certain time. But being that there was a time restriction, like you kind of had people's hands tied. So I would say they should have never closed up all the beaches. And I understand the restriction time, but I feel like people would be smart enough to go within sections, and people would know like it's too packed right now. We kind of need to go somewhere else. I feel like I feel like the governors or whoever, what is it, the governor or the mayor that really processed this through to actually have this beach have this beach cold have this beach vacation or this beach timeout at Jacksonville really was trying to see if he or she can shake the pot, because like with these restrictions, I felt like they already know the idea, or like this was gonna happen. But that's just like how I'm like processing it through, like the way you would think about people feeding for a reaction. Like, why would you allow all these people, especially and a lot of people want to go to the beach, including myself, and there's a lot of people that do want America to open, including myself, you know, we needed to open. There's a lot of amenities like barbershops that need to open for myself, including, so I can probably finally do get that haircut because I'm like this close from this close this close from like ripping my whole hair apart because I do have like the set of clippers and and every time I either look at myself in the mirror, I'm trying to see if I can clip the correct area, but I don't want to take that chance because clipping the correct wrong area, I'm gonna have to live through that. And yeah, I'm not big on making a mistake on my head, especially if I can't really direct where the clippers can go, because I can't see the back of my head. So yes, we do need America to open, but we should think cautiously throughout this phase of this COVID-19. I don't know why, this coronavirus pandemic, and through this pandemic, I feel as though like we should keep that social we should keep that social distance, and we should like think positive. I'm not saying that the world of negative is not gonna come into like your thought process, but think you positive that we are gonna get through this. This is not like the end. This is not the end of days, but some people still feel like it's the end of days, giving me scriptures to read. People people I'm saying is like my mother, like giving me scripture like yeah, I understand. But if we learn how to, I understand, mother, like I understand that you are giving me scriptures and they kind of are making sense, but if we put our heads together, we can get through this, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We're just stuck in the cave because we feel comfortable right now. But in actuality, I just have to say, like, keep the social distancing up. And Florida opening up, my opinion on Florida opening up right now, there's a little undecided because I was leaning towards opening up, but in this height of like numbers actually still growing, should we even open up? And is opening up would be actually good enough, or like the people that say that they don't want, what is it, government handout because they feel as though they need to work for what they have, should we do something with people that would want that, separate the few, separate the few and far between from whoever feels as though like but separate the few and far between, but keep everybody in a safe distance, because like the whole fact is we need to social distance ourselves, and a lot of people, it's the first time being alone with either their family members or themselves. So a lot of people don't want to or a lot of people are feeling this new normal, and this new normal is not cool for them. Guys, if we stay calm and be positive, we're going to get to the club faster. We're going to get to a barbershop sooner or later, and the beaches will open up. Okay? Think about it. We're almost to summer. We're not going to prolong this. This is not going to be prolonged into summer, hopefully. I'm crossing my fingers, like literally. Like this can't be stretching out to June, July. No, this needs to end, and that the way it needs to end is if we put our heads together and think positive over the situation. Stop bringing negatives into my mosh pool because it's not making any sense. Because the pool in Gula is already filled with facts of what happened overseas to what's happening now from the west to east coast on this coronavirus, with all these new hotspots popping up and new cases and new people dying. Like, we can think more positive. That everything on the news right now is straight bad news. even though they might give you a hope or a glimmer of hope on one of these stories, but it's not gonna be about the coronavirus. So do your own research, please. Keep calm, be level-headed, because at the end of the day, we are gonna get through this. And please be cautious. And if you feel as though that you are the invincible, incredible Hulk, do what you gotta do. Play with fire, because you will get burned. Just stay that burners away from me. So friend, family, if you feel as though like, if we would open the beaches, you would go out there with no face mask, no cover, no nothing, and expect to like kind of see me. I don't think we could see each other under these circumstances until the circumstances are, lifted. So being that said, this has been me with Slick Speaks, and I would like to welcome you back. I have a new time Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you can catch me Tuesdays and Thursdays here on Slick Speaks, and I will be talking about literally anything that is happening on the coronavirus, because that's kind of like the major topic right now. Can't move on to anything right now because we're on standstill on coronavirus. So, but we should stay positive throughout this whole pandemic, because panicking too much may leave you in like it's just in a place that you wouldn't even want to be. You didn't even thought that you could be in. But being positive, being lightheaded or level-headed. I want to say lightheaded. Lightheaded, that's full of helium. Do not do any helium, guys. But be level-headed. We are gonna get through this pandemic. And getting through this pandemic means being safe. So even though they reopen the beaches, please be calm, please be courteous, please understand the fact of social distancing, guys. And smart move to open the U.S. or no, open Florida, I would say, because there is a lot of people out of jobs. But if we would open Florida at this time, we should be having some perks for the people that are going back to work, because they are putting their lives at risk, just like the nurses. Not all superheroes wear capes. And that's how I'm gonna end it. And I have to welcome you back to Slick Speaks. And this has been me, Gene, here on Slick Speaks, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. And that's about it. Can't reach my sandal. I flicked it all the way across. Until next time, guys.